All right, so Wade Barrett, that was another thing that kind of jumped out at me with Raw this past Monday night. Wade Barrett, a.k.a. Bad News Barrett, made his WWE Raw debut this week. I gotta be honest, wasn't really impressed. His segments, at best, a light chuckle, but a light chuckle doesn't equal ratings, damn sure doesn't equal high viewership, and you're talking to somebody that loves Wade Barrett. I've seen this guy since the first season of NXT, coming up main WWE programming as leader of the Nexus. Been a supporter of this guy since way back then. If I'm Wade Barrett right about now, I'm kind of saying to myself, what the hell has become of my career here in the WWE? Everyone wants to talk about the Shield, but man, Wade Barrett's Nexus, for sure, they could have given the Shield a run for their money. I mean, feel me on this. How do you go from that moment with the Nexus, high off of your NXT win, headlining not one, not two, not even three, but 5 WWE pay-per-views, in which 3 of those events was for the WWE Championship. And then you get demoted to SmackDown with a fake Nexus called the Core to become an Intercontinental Champion, but losing it to Ezekiel Jackson shortly after, who hasn't been seen in like forever, yet he's still with the company, but that's an entirely different story. We see Barrett get repackaged as the Barrett Barrage, which I guess was supposed to be some type of a inspired take on his bare knuckle boxer gimmick, kind of playing off of what he did there in real life before joining WWE, and now he's become Bad News Barrett. Man, if you're keeping track of this guy getting repackaged, this is like 4 times technically. And to think, this is all in the span of 3 years since he came up main WWE programming. That's just no good, man. No matter how you cut it. A guy like Wade Barrett should have been WWE champion or world champion by now. And the fact that he hasn't, it's quite sad when you really look at it. It's really sad because he's a solid performer in the ring. I can remember this guy having feuds with Sheamus, Randy Orton. For me, those were key moments in his career that I thought were really, really good. We'll just never know, unfortunately, how things would have gone down for his career if he didn't get injured and wasn't able to participate in 2012's Money in the Bank pay-per-view. As word had it, he was scheduled to win one of the briefcases. Just kind of seems like Barrett hasn't been the same since the injury. I don't really see that same fire. I don't really see that same passion that was in Wade Barrett from the NXT days or the Nexus days. Quite honestly, not to beat the horse to death, but this Bad News Barrett gimmick, not going anywhere. I don't really see it lasting that long. Honestly, I think it could play itself out right before WrestleMania. Then it's kind of like, what's going to happen after that? Hell, this guy was supposed to have a feud with Bo Dallas from NXT, and, I mean, my God, that sure as hell ended without a proper finish to it. It just abruptly came to an end as Bo Dallas just magically stopped appearing on main WWE programming. I mean, I really, really like Wade Barrett, man, but I'm just not feeling what's going on with him. I dare say this is not a guy that WWE should cut. I think it would be a huge mistake, but at the same time, if they aren't going to use this guy to his true potential, his greatest potential, it's like, why keep him? If you're not going to use him properly, why keep him? It's unfortunate that we got this whole unification championship thing going down, which I'm hoping will end with Randy Orton and John Cena basically swapping titles, because I love the idea of there being 2 champions in WWE, because what I said last week, it would definitely provide that necessary platform to try to help elevate the next superstar. And I think Wade Barrett would definitely be one of those guys that could definitely use that elevation in getting a world title run, just to see if he can handle the pressure, if he can really come out on top smelling all good before even being considered for a run as WWE champion. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but honestly, if they're going to go the whole one champion, if it's going to go down, it's quite unfortunate because the way things are looking right now, I dare say Wade Barrett may never be a champion, at least not in WWE. That's just my take on that, folks. I could be wrong on that. Wouldn't be the first, wouldn't be the last. As always, we do welcome you guys' comments.